Alright people, what's happening? Welcome back to the F1 2021 My Team series here on the channel. Today is the Season 2 season finale, the final race in the season, of course, at the Abu Dhabi Yas Marina Circuit. If you have enjoyed this season so far, or if you've missed any episodes, make sure you go back and check out the other episodes, because of course this is the finale, so if you aren't up to date, then you're going to get the final spoiled for you. So, but if you are up to date, obviously, welcome to the video. Hopefully you enjoy it. If you do enjoy it, hit that like button on the video, subscribe if you are new, and let's get into the race and the final episode. So you can see the vehicle comparison chart. Ferrari have now overtaken us in the chart. They've also overtaken McLaren, so we are just above Alpine now. We are falling back to the lower half of the grid. We've fallen to the back of the midfield now, when at one point we were the best car on the grid, and as you can see, we are 3 points behind Ferrari in the constructors standings and 12 points behind McLaren. I've just completely made that number up because I can't do maths. We are a good few points. I think it's more like 18 behind McLaren. I'm not even looking at the numbers now, but anyway, yeah, it's all down to this last race, boys. Who's going to finish third, who's going to finish fourth, and who's going to finish fifth in the constructors standings. Of course, this decides how much money we get for next year, which, as you may have seen at the start, I was flicking through the facilities. We need to upgrade our facilities so then we can improve our R&D and then get a better car, boys, for next season. In Season 3, I want to compete for the title. We're going to go all out for a teammate. Speaking of, let me know in the comments below, who should we get as our teammates for next season? I need your help, boys, in the comments below. Let me know who we're going to get. This video, you should be seeing it on a Monday, and we are going to release the pre-season video on Friday. So getting into the lap here, we are currently P22. We are the last car on the grid, dead last. After setting a few laps around here, I cannot drive this circuit. The car feels undrivable. I don't know if it was a setup issue or just the car being terrible, bro. Like, the car towards the back half of this season has been absolutely awful. We go red in sector 1. We get a better entry to the hairpin. No, absolutely horrible, this hairpin. We get a nice exit out onto the straight there though, and we are going to be 2 tenths up, heading towards the end of the hairpin. A bit slow on the upshifting, I think, which cost us a bit of time towards the end of the straight. I think I just said hairpin, I don't know what I'm talking about. But we come through the chicane here, very slow through there, but we go later on the brakes at the end of the straight, which makes up 3.5 tenths as we come through the second DRS zone. Let's go towards the next section, another little chicane. Uphill, we go left, we go right over the curbs there, on the left on the entry, and then we go a bit wide on the exit. 6 tenths up though on our previous lap, bouncing over the curbs again and a bit wide. We're going to lose a bit of time there. We're going to lose about 0.5 tenth coming through to this next section now, trying not to lock up as we go late on the brakes and turn in third gear. We're up to 7 tenths, 6 tenths now. It's back down again. We've lost 3 tenths through this section alone, boys, under the bridge there. We lost 3 tenths somehow, and now it's down to 2.5 tenths as we come through the second to last corner. It's down to 2 tenths now, boys, and then through the final corner we're going to make up a bit of time. It's going to be 2 tenths as we cross the line, 2 tenths faster, and it still puts us P22, boys. What a terrible lap we're going to have to go again. Nikita Mazepin now behind us somehow. I don't really understand how that's worked, bro. Have I edited this wrong? I don't understand. I don't get it, boys. 47 seconds left. Or we must have just done another lap off camera and gone faster than Mazepin. But anyway, on the last lap of the session now, we go slow through the middle sector there, or through the end of the first sector-ish. We were very quick through the first sector is what I'm trying to say. And in the start of the second sector, we kind of bottled it. But we are 2 tenths up heading down the straight now. And like I say, boys, this car just felt so undrivable. We've been a bit harsh on Nico Rosberg, I think, because he's been actually doing wonders with the machinery that he's got to drive towards this back half of the season. But Nico Rosberg, I really want to keep hold of him. Really like this guy in real life. Love his YouTube videos. But he's just not doing it for us, boys. 1 race win he's had, and it was in Russia when he got pole position. He's had 1 pole position and 1 race win. That is not good enough by my standards, boys. I'm sorry for the team. So Nico will be getting replaced for the 3rd season. Let me know in the comments who we should get. We'll speak more at the end of the episode about him. But viewer retention is quite low on these videos, so I just want to get it out there early. Comment down below, what engine should we use for the next season? I'm thinking about sticking with Ferrari for another season. And then comment, obviously, what driver should we get in that second seat? We have 13 million to spend. But coming through sector 3 now on this lap in qualifying, we are we are 1.3 tenths or seconds. Bloody hell, I'm all over the place. We go 1.4 seconds quicker on the lap there, and that puts us where, well, let's find out. Nico Rosberg in P5 in qualifying, and we are only P20. That's why I say he's working wonders with what he's got. We can only manage P20, and Nico's doing it P5. Like, that is absolutely crazy. 7 tenths to the cut-off point there to George Russell. I don't know what's happened to these cars and our car, but where have we lost 7 tenths to Williams, bro? It's crazy. Let's get to the race.
It's time then for one final race in this year's Formula One World Championship. 2010 saw 4 drivers in contention for the title coming into this race, with Sebastian Vettel prevailing to become the youngest world champion to date. Is there one last sting of the tail awaiting us today? Well, it's time to find out. Here comes the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. The drivers will be racing here at the Yas Marina Circuit through 21 corners and a lap distance of just over 3.4 miles. There are a few opportunities to pass, with long straights and DRS zones in 2 places, turns 8 and turn 11. Plenty of close racing then, plenty of speed, and I hope plenty of drama to be found in the laps ahead. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
Well, the throttle goes both ways, Crofty. You've got to have the discipline not to try and win the race on the first lap, so always be prepared to lift early and give those around you more space. Trying to be the last of the late breakers with half a dozen cars around you may pay off from time to time, but it's also a great way to lose your front wing.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he starts from pole position. And Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Hamilton, Norris, Carlos Sainz, they've taken a grid penalty, and Rosberg, Leclerc, Ocon, Perez, and George Russell, Fernando Alonso, Tsunoda, Daniel Ricciardo, the owner driver, Mazepin, Vettel, Nicholas Latifi, and Lance Stroll. Giovinazzi, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Mick Schumacher, Tictum, they've taken a grid penalty. And Pierre GASLY picks up the final grid slot today. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
This is the final race of the season. Go out there and enjoy it.
So boys, Nico Rosberg up to P5, I think he was on the grid there. We're up to P14 as well, I want to say. We are going with a strategy here of, I can't actually remember what strategy we went with, so we'll have to wait and see. A one-stop strategy I'm going to try with medium hard around Abu Dhabi here. It says the projected race time is 8 seconds slower than the two-stop strategy, but I wanted to try out the one-stop because I saw Jarno Opmeer use it. And if you don't know who Jarno Opmeer is, he's the GOAT of esports racing. And it is 5 red lights here in Abu Dhabi. It is lights out and away we go. We get off to a decent start compared to Daniel Ricciardo and the McLaren just next to us on the grid, heading down into turn 1. Can we go up the inside of Fernando Alonso there? No, we can't. Alonso closes the door. But we are wheel to wheel with Daniel Ricciardo. We get off to a great start and overtake Ricciardo off the grid, even though we are on the slower medium tyres. And Daniel's on, of course, those faster soft tyres. But it is wheel to wheel heading towards the hairpin section now in a moment. Almost a bit of contact there. Daniel bouncing over the curbs a little. Now we get to the hairpin. Daniel looking around the outside. Doesn't have a move on there. He's going to get a better line up the inside though. And as we head down the straight now, we'll have to see who has the fastest car in a straight line. And already Daniel is a whole car length ahead of us. That absolutely crazy straight line speed from the McLaren there. Don't know whether that's due to the drag of the car, the weight of the car, the tyres or the engine. Probably a mix of them both. But we go late on the brakes and try and win our position back from Daniel bouncing over the curbs, and we do it up into P13 yet again. Daniel Ricciardo falling behind us there, but Fernando Alonso in front of us pushing just a second ahead. We want to try and stay within DRS range with Alonso for when DRS does open. We do seem to have a little train in front of us now as well. It looks like one of the Ferraris and one of the Red Bulls, Leclerc and Perez fighting in front of us there, with Alonso, Tsunoda and Russell just in front of us. So hopefully we can make up time, which we have done here to Alonso, while those two, the McLaren and the Red Bull, sorry, and the Ferrari are fighting in front. I always say McLaren when I mean to say Leclerc. I don't know why. It's the C's probably. I don't even know, bro. Weird indeed. But we are trying to stick with this pack in front of us while we have a pack behind us, because Daniel Ricciardo is right on our tail. We have a little moment coming out to the final corner there, bouncing over the sausage curb. Pause. But heading down into turn 1 again to start lap 2. And we are going to be 3 tenths behind Fernando Alonso here as we come through this little section here. We have to lift off because we just don't have the downforce at the moment, or the grip to be able to just push flat out through that section, which I think the AI go flat out through there every single lap. So even though we're going green in our laps, as you can see in the delta in the top right, which isn't hard on lap 2 in sector 1 of course because you come off the grid, but even though we're going faster on these laps, the cars behind us are just so much faster again. As you can see here, we can't even catch up to Fernando Alonso in a straight line, who's in an Alpine, which is meant to be a lot worse than us on the vehicle comparison chart. So for next season, we really need to get our facilities upgraded. As Daniel Ricciardo looks up the inside here at the end of the straight, we're going to give him space up the inside. Good driving from us. We're going to stay ahead though. That is a very nice battle between me and Daniel there. Good driving from both drivers included in that battle. Like I say though, really need to upgrade our facilities. First thing I want to do, upgrade the chassis department, get that weight reduction upgrade. The car feels so heavy and not in a good way. Then upgrade the aerodynamic department and get that drag reduction upgrade as well, because like I say, in a straight line we are losing so much time, and it's not even to do with the engine, because of course you've got teams like Yuki Tsunoda in the AlphaTauri, you've got the Red Bulls who are on the Honda power unit, which is the worst engine power on the game. But in a straight line, they just seem to push so fast and so hard, bro. Pause. But yeah, anyway, like I say, we have fell out of DRS range to Fernando Alonso, and Daniel Ricciardo gets optimistic through the final corner, looks for a move up the inside in the final corner, and he has done it. What a move from Daniel Ricciardo there. It's very nice indeed from Daniel. But DRS is open now on lap 3. We need to try and stick within 1 second to Daniel so we can get him on the back straight after the hairpin. Absolutely massive overtaking opportunity. There's that replay of Daniel's overtake. Very nice indeed. Just squeeze his car through. Good racing from Daniel, and his DRS enabled, like I say. We're going to try and stick with him a second of the car ahead, of course, and then hopefully just be able to pull each other along down the straight. Now, we do actually cross the line here. And the gap to Daniel when we came across the line was 9 tenths. But for some reason we don't get DRS down the straight, which is absolutely huge. And just down the straight you can see Daniel 1.3 tenths ahead down the straight. On 1.3 seconds. I always say tenths instead of seconds. And Sebastian Vettel now coming very late on the brakes after getting DRS on us at the end of the straight. A little moment out of the corner there, out of the chicane. And it's very slow from us out today. We're going to lose a lot of time to the cars in front now, battling Sebastian. But lap 8, we crossed the line to start lap 8. A few of the front runners on the soft tyres have just came out of the pits. There's Nico Rosberg making a pit stop and coming out ahead of us. After just 8 laps, Nico Rosberg was already a whole pit stop ahead of us, but we have split Nico and Ferrari's Charles Leclerc there. As you can see, Leclerc is now behind us, and I'm thinking for the team, you know, we're in the battle in the constructor standings for 3rd, 4th and 5th place. If I can hold up Leclerc as much as possible, that allows Nico Rosberg to make moves through the field in front and create a gap to Charles Leclerc. So can we defend Leclerc for even 1 lap? He goes around the outside into the chicane at the end of the straight here, and he's not going to have the space or traction to be able to do that around the outside. We had moved from Leclerc. We did defend the inside, but I thought he would have just tried to push the inside as much as possible anyway. But Leclerc now is still behind us, of course. Rosberg getting 3.4 seconds ahead of us. That is the gap to Rosberg. Hopefully we can improve that gap to at least 5 seconds or even more by holding up Leclerc, of course. But because obviously our race, boys, I'm just thinking we're on the one-stop strategy. Maybe we can make good places on the one-stopper while people are in the pits. But speaking of people in the pits, Daniel Ricciardo is in the pits now. So is Esteban Ocon. We're going to pass Daniel as he's underneath us. Very weird pit lane exit. It's very cool. It's like a tunnel underneath the track. Esteban Ocon's just coming out the pits. Oh, we're going to make it there in front of him. No, we're not. But just behind us, boys, as we cross the line there, Charles Leclerc dives into the pits, and you can't see the front wing here because of the Ferrari nose cone, but it looks like he might have some front wing damage for trying to make that move on us, maybe, through at the end of the straight. Maybe he picked up some damage there, but Leclerc comes into the pits for another pit stop, which is absolutely huge, as the gap to Rosberg now is 5 seconds, like I mentioned, and obviously Leclerc is out of sight, out of mind, so Nico can just focus on his drive. But Sebastian Vettel has caused up to us there, and we get a big jolt in the back, and I think Sebastian Vettel has just crashed into the back of us, boys, as we headed into that slow right-hander. Let's see this replay. We approach the braking zone, and Sebastian, yeah, he just goes straight into the back of us. You can see his front wing end plate flying off there. We were lucky not to pick up diffuser damage there. You know, we are on simulation damage, so we could have got gearbox issues there. We could have got diffuser damage. You could have even retired the car. Look at this, it's a big impact. He crashes straight into the back of us there. I don't know if he locked up on the entry to that corner. Very bizarre from Sebastian. A guy I was considering trying to make our teammate for the next season, but if he's treating us like that in the last race of the season, you know, clearly showing he has no respect for us, unless it was just an accidental lock-up, who knows. George Russell in the pits in the Williams now, going on to soft tyres. Yuki Tsunoda also in the pits. We're going to overtake those two guys there and move up into P9. Now I'm thinking, boys, this is a good strategy. You know, we're on the one stop, we're up into the points, people have got to pit again. It's only lap 10. You know, we're going to overtake Sainz now, are we? Oh no, Sainz came out of the pits ahead of us still by 8 seconds, so it just shows how slow we actually were around Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi, another circuit that has been sacrificed for Season 3's calendar, which you'll see on Friday. But heading into the chicane here, Fernando Alonso very late on the brakes, and it's a great overtake from Fernando. I've got to just applaud that one there, because that is classic Fernando Alonso. A collision there with Daniel Ricciardo. We checked the vehicle, no damage there. But Ricciardo, the man who we lost a place to last race in Australia, in the pit lane, which was a horrible overtake to concede. You know, our pit stop was 3.9 seconds, just changing the tyres, 3.9 seconds, and that cost us a place in Austria. Probably cost us even more than one place, actually, if you look at things in the grand scheme of it. So, can we catch Fernando Alonso with DRS before the end of this straight into the braking zone? We have a little look up the inside, but it's not going to be on the move there to Alonso. Can we stick with him to the next braking point, the next DRS point, sorry? Can we stick with him? The answer is no. This is going to be our in-lap, according to Jeff. He wants us to box on lap 12. Fernando Alonso has pulled the gap to 2.8 seconds. I just couldn't follow cars on this circuit, boys, and we go slow and wide through this fast section here, and that allows Daniel Ricciardo to overtake us very easily there. But Ricciardo getting the overtake there. We're going to have DRS down the next straight. As you can see, we've tactically let him overtake there, of course, on purpose. And I just couldn't get the rotation, boys, through the hairpin there. I don't know what it was. Could not get the rotation. And as we hit the DRS zone, Ricciardo was 1.4 seconds ahead. Like, absolutely crazy, bro. Now we're going to have Yuki Tsunoda and George Russell trying to make overtakes behind us. At the end of the straight, we only make up 5/10 on Ricciardo. Can't even close the gap to make an overtake. And we're not going to have DRS for this next zone because he got out of DRS range on the straight. Absolutely crazy, bro. I don't know why our car felt so slow in a straight line. Like I say, it probably just is the drag and the fact that we haven't upgraded it for about 16 weeks. But Max Verstappen taking fastest lap of the race there on lap 12. Max Verstappen, the man who just won the Mexican Grand Prix the past weekend that I am recording this video. As you are watching this video, sorry, I should say, the Brazilian Grand Prix would have just been on. So hopefully that was a good race. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the Brazilian Grand Prix. Hopefully Max Verstappen picked up another win, as George Russell makes a fantastic overtake around the outside there. Quality from George. Maybe that's a guy we should look at for our second seat for next season. This guy showing promise, you know, but we are going to come into the pits. Unfortunate to lose track position as you come into the pits. There's Russell and Tsunoda overtaking us as we come in. Let's see, can we have a quicker than 3.9 second pit stop here on in Abu Dhabi, quicker than Australia, hopefully. But yeah, like I was saying, actually, I'm trying to think about the upload schedule, because when was the Brazil race? Brazil was before Australia, of course, so you would have seen Australia on Friday and Brazil on Monday last week, maybe. I don't know. I pre-record these videos, get myself confused. Let's see where we come out to the pits though if I stop chatting. We're going to come out in P19, boys, just behind 1.5 seconds behind Nikita Mazepin. So now I'm just praying, okay, have we messed up with the strategy? Are people going to box again in front of us? Sebastian Vettel on soft tyres there. Those soft tyres won't last 15 laps till the end of the race. Sebastian's definitely one who has to pit again. So now I'm just relying on everybody else around me to pit again while we go to the end of the race on these hard tyres here. But Mazepin 3 seconds ahead, and there goes Nicholas Latifi down the straight with DRS. Latifi, absolute stinker. Get out the way. Look how slow he is coming through the chicane. I don't care that you overtook us with DRS. We're going to overtake him here again, even before the DRS, and we are on new tyres, of course, but they're hard, so he should be blitzing us in those mediums. No, he shouldn't. He shouldn't be blitzing anyone. He's Nicholas Latifi, do you know what I mean? He couldn't even blitz himself on a simulator game, bro. So Pierre Gasly is in the pits, and Fernando Alonso, a man who made a great overtake on us, is now out of the session, coming around the hairpin, as you can see, blowing smoke in the face of Daniel Ricciardo. I think that was in the McLaren. Nice camera shot there of the back of the Alpine. Engine failure for the Alpine. Unfortunate for Fernando in the final race of the season. I think he might be retiring. I think him or Vettel might retire this season, but look at that, boys, in the bottom right.
DRS is offline. The rear wing is down, so you can stay out while we work on a fix. Our gap to the car.
We have a bit of contact with Latifi there. I told you this guy's an absolute lunatic stinker. But, boys, we have DRS failure. That's absolutely massive, especially on a track like Abu Dhabi. Our DRS is not going to work. So we come down into the hairpin section. Latifi is going to be behind us, so is Pierre Gasly. We have a little wobble there on the entry to the hairpin, and Latifi that allows Latifi to go up the inside. Can we beat him in the drag race? We can't until he hits DRS. Now he's going to try and fight back at us, and look at the speed you get from DRS, boys. Look how much he's gone ahead, and there goes Pierre Gasly up the inside of Nicholas Latifi. That's a double overtake for Pierre Gasly in one section, and it's so slow from Gasly and Latifi. We almost go into the back of Latifi. Bit of contact, a little love tap on the back of Latifi there, and of course this section we should be getting DRS, but we don't actually get it because our DRS is broken, so we're going to have to stay behind Gasly and Latifi. Latifi looking to make the pass on Gasly. Gasly up the inside, maybe a bit of contact there. Latifi fighting back again, and Gasly over the curb. And we're going to get a double overtake ourselves, boys. What a move that was from us to overtake Latifi and Pierre Gasly. Them two were fighting it out. Gasly had a little wobble. What a move that was. Look at these two, too wide through all of these corners here. We hit the DRS zone. We're not going to get DRS, which we would have made an easy overtake on the pair of them there if we did have DRS. But obviously DRS broken, rear wing slammed shut. And then watch this, boys, as they fight and bounce over the curves. Pierre gets a bit unsettled, and we're going to go up the inside of Pierre, make a brilliant double overtake there. Pierre making contact with us as well as we make the overtake. Not very sportsmanlike from Pierre, but what a move that was. We see another replay of it because I was just that satisfied with it, as Pierre bounces over the curb and has a wobble, and we just make a nice move and get a double overtake. You love to see it, boys. What a move that is. Even though this race was absolutely stinky for us, it was a nice opportunity to or a nice move that we've made there, even though the race was shit. Mick Schumacher in the pits in the Williams. Can we overtake the Williams before he comes out to the pits? The answer is no. Lap 19, Mick Schumacher 3 seconds ahead. Pierre Gasly passes on the straight. Nico Rosberg comes in for another stop. He'll be going to the end of the race now on those tyres. Gasly overtakes us, though. We're down in P16. That is not good. We need to overtake some people here, boys, like I say, before the end of the race. But thingy, what was I going to say, bro? DRS, that's it. The DRS was broke, so we didn't get DRS again on Pierre Gasly. Now Gasly's 4 seconds ahead of us. He's gone. Now Latifi wants to make a move on us. We're going to go up the inside of Latifi. But here comes Sebastian Vettel up the inside. He's knocked over the cone on the apex there. Sebastian Vettel makes a move on Latifi. Up into P17 goes Sebastian. Here comes Sebastian Vettel. Let's watch this again. Vettel up the inside there. We have to be very strategic in our driving there to not make contact with Vettel. A very opportunistic move there from Sebastian. We see this now again. There was just no space, and he had to try and jump on the curb to avoid a collision, but luckily I'm a good driver and avoided the collision myself as well. So Sebastian makes a move there on Latifi, and as we head into the section where Sebastian actually crashed into the back of us the other day, what am I on about? A few laps ago, we come through this bridge section again now, and there's going to be a yellow flag just behind us on the track. And it looks like it's going to be Sebastian Vettel actually again in this section of the track as we go wide and come back on. He goes up the inside. Sebastian, what are you thinking? What are you thinking, Sebastian? He's lost his front wing again. That's the second time Sebastian's made contact with us. Like, what was he thinking of trying to make an overtake there? That is not a position to make an overtake. That is poor driving from one of the most experienced drivers we have on the grid at the moment, Sebastian Vettel. Lap 22, the end of lap 22, start of lap 23. Blue flags. That is absolutely embarrassing. We got lapped in Australia by Sergio Perez. But he was on the final lap of the race. We're going to get lapped here on lap 23 of 28 by Max Verstappen, who is leading the race, and hopefully as the time you're watching this, he is leading the driver's standings in real life. Lap 24 though, there is another yellow flag down in the next sector just in front of us. So let's have a look at what's caused that. It's going to be Mick Schumacher in the Williams here, stomping on the throttle as he goes uphill and loses the rear end of his car there, spinning out, having to let a few cars past him as he tries to reverse his car very awkwardly and get back onto the circuit. We can see again, just stomps the throttle, proper Mazepin move there, bouncing over the sausage curb again. And then, yeah, but even with that spin, boys, Mick Schumacher ended up being 8.4 seconds ahead of us as we came to where he was on the track. 8.4 seconds to Mick Schumacher. Another yellow flag behind us. I think this is Antonio Giovinazzi. Let's see what he's done. He's spun as well, and he's hit the wall there. He's bounced off the wall. That's a big impact. Would not be surprised if he's picked up rear wing damage there. We can see him coming around the corner now. Or can we? Where is he? There he is, bouncing off the wall, almost making contact with one of the Mercedes there. Would have been funny if he picked up one of the Mercedes. Well, not funny for the Mercedes, like, but would have been mad if he took out one of the Mercedes there, Giovinazzi, as we go deep on the brakes there. Poor from me. I just hate this track, bro, and I can't wait to get to Season 3 because I like every circuit that we do drive in Season 3 on the revised calendar that I have made. Speaking of Nikita Mazepin, here he goes, and he's overtaking us. We're getting overtaken by Mazepin. Do you know how embarrassing that is? This guy's in a Haas, and we're getting blue flags as well. On lap 26 or 28, we're down in P17, overtaken by Mazepin. This strategy, boys, was absolutely terrible. Never do a one-stop strategy around Abu Dhabi unless your name is Jarno Opmeer, because Jarno was the only guy who could make this strategy work. I looked at it thinking, yeah, I could do that, and I just couldn't, bro. I don't know how the hell Jarno made this work, but yeah, so we've dropped from P14 on the grid at the start down to P17 as Valtteri Bottas overtakes us there as well, and we approach what will be our final lap of the race because we have been overtaken. Now what we need to do is stick with Bottas, because when he overtakes Mazepin with the blue flags, it's going to allow us to try and make a move on Mazepin. And there goes Bottas clearing Mazepin. Can we clear Mazepin ourselves around the outside? It's going to be wheel to wheel through a very fast portion of the track. We yield a bit there because if we went too far wide there would have been a collision, but we are going to get DRS. The DRS is back online. We'll have DRS on Mazepin down the back straight. Can we get a good exit from the hairpin? Just could not get the rotation again. Maybe I needed to drop the first gear, I don't know, or increase the diff, I don't know, bro. Just could not get any sort of rotation through there. But here we go, DRS on, battery on, Nikita Mazepin on toast as we overtake him at the end of the straight now, exceeding track limits there actually, but which was very bizarre because I didn't feel like I went anywhere near track limits or anything like that, you know. But we overtake Mazepin now. He's going to have DRS, try and fight back at us. We're going to drain the battery down this straight, and even though our car lacks straight line speed, it's not going to be as slow as the Haas, or is it? He goes around the outside, Mazepin. We're going to try and bully our way and stay in front here as we come through the final few corners in this race of what has been a very poor and embarrassing race. Max Verstappen picking up another race win in Abu Dhabi. Hopefully he does the same in real life, like I say. But we have a little moment there, bouncing over the curb. Nikita Mazepin is on our tail. Any mistake here and he will overtake us and we will lose another place. We get blue flags again coming through the final portion of the track. Mazepin pulls out the way to get overtaken, but there's no point in us doing the same because there's only one corner left. And as we come through, Sergio Perez looking up the inside of us there. Perez P3, just like in Mexico. And it is going to be the end of the season, boys. That is it for the season. The final race, we crossed the line. P16, Pierre GASLY, driver of the day. We are outside of the points. Hopefully Nico Rosberg has came home with a bag of points for us. Of course, we needed to score 3 more points than Ferrari. We needed to score like 18 more points than McLaren. McLaren pretty much secured that P3 spot with Lando's podium in Australia last race. But like I say, it's down to us and Ferrari for the battle for 4th and 5th. Hopefully we've got Nico's managed to get 3 more points than Sainz and Leclerc together, which sounds very unlikely. We'll have to wait and see where Leclerc and Sainz finished. I mean, obviously we tried to hold Leclerc up at the start of the session, and he had to do an extra pit stop because of his broken front wing. But we'll have to wait and see where we do finish as the Drivers' World Champion for 2021 or 2. Technically, yeah, it's 22 like in our season. Max Verstappen is the Drivers' Champion, and he gets another race win to end the season off with his compadre Sergio Perez on the podium with him. Valtteri Bottas, the man who is leaving Mercedes in real life at the end of the season, gets on the podium there. I wonder if he'll stay there. Carlos Sainz finishing P5, Nico Rosberg only managing P7. That is unfortunate, boys. Carlos Sainz scoring 4 more points than Nico, and Leclerc picking up 1 point as well. Even on a 3-stop strategy, Leclerc the only man to do a 3-stop and finish within the top 10. The only man to do a 3-stop and actually finish the race. Oh no, he's not. Vettel finished in P19 or something down there, way down there, bro. We finished P16, lost 2 places from the start. Terrible from us. Just absolutely poor. And as you can see, we actually lose a place to Daniel Ricciardo by 1 point, boys. In the driver's standings, we fall to P6. In the driver's standings, we finish 1 point ahead of Lando and 1 point behind Daniel. Look at that McLaren sandwich there. Nico Rosberg finishing P10 in the driver's standings. Poor from Nico to only be P10. And we do finish 8 points behind Ferrari. Look at how unlucky that is. 8 points behind Ferrari in P5. You know, 8 points is so easy to make up. There has been times when I took grid penalties for no reason, for changing my engine and stuff that I didn't need to take this season. So who knows what could have happened if we were just a bit more clinical, bro. Like, it's so unlucky. But the time has now come. Nico Rosberg is out of contract. The 99 rated Nico Rosberg. Look at his stats on the screen. Ridiculous how this guy only got 1 pole position and 1 race win for us. Next season we will have, as you can see in the top right, 13.23 million to spend on some people, or one person actually, for our second driver. Then when we get our cash money for, or our prize money for the previous tournament or championship, we will upgrade the facilities. We have 22,000 resource points. I think we can max out the car with that, with those 22,000. So yeah, next season is going to be exciting. Stay tuned for the preseason video on Friday. But if you want that, hit the like button and drop a comment. What engine should we get? What teammate should we get? I need to know, because I want to record the preseason video on Thursday. So try and get your comments in as early as possible, boys. If you have enjoyed the season so far, season 2, like, comment, share and subscribe. You know the vibes, and I will catch us next time. Take it easy.